Well, welcome to this month's Poetry Slam, everyone. Yay, I'm so excited.
All right, I am Cassandra Kulai, and I've got 3 poems today. The first one is called Vanished. I woke up in the hospital. I woke up missing you, needing you to comfort me after all the angst that I've been through. When I got out, I huddled on your porch, waiting for you to come home, because you were the safest harbor I'd ever known. Driven by despair, I looked for your face amongst all the people I don't know, always wondering, where did you go? I thought what we shared was enough to elicit some compassion. It's like trying to cross a sheet of ice and never being able to achieve some traction. What started as passion left me cold and alone, wondering why and how you had vanished. I loved you more than you loved me, apparently, but I thought love could overcome anything. You taught me how to let go eventually. Now I'm at peace after being ghosted. Life moved on without you, and I grew out of believing in a love that was so deceiving. My greatest fear was of you leaving. Now I know that I've survived. Maybe some relationships are meant to be fleeting. Maybe there's some reason why, even if it felt like dying, abandonment overshadows the sky. Thank you. This one is called Released. The fountain of joy, the excess of youth, the love that sparks a fire, the sweetness of a fruit, the knowledge of Adam and Eve, as a consequence we toil, pray for fertile soil. The pain of living can heal eventually, the shame of our wrongs can fuel our songs. Your shadow like the promise of paradise, the other side of crying is simple happiness, being glad to be alive. We fight to survive in an often hostile atmosphere. We've been through so much in order to get here. The fantasy of forever is balanced by the realization that forever may be way too much. The comfort we can find with just a touch almost makes up for the suffering we experience. Tears cleanse and prepare us to deal with trauma. A jungle of unfamiliar feelings and thoughts. We dig deep to try and find the cause. But it's as simple as looking in a mirror. Sometimes we know why we are grieving, our powerlessness over events that wreck us. Sometimes we feel a generalized depression, a sadness that settles over us like a blanket that we can't get out from under. Sometimes life gets us down, other times it can fill us with wonder. Our imagination can invent beautiful and amazing things. When it turns on us as cold as ice, disfiguring our minds and trapping us in nightmares. Things change, things pass, we work at it, we try to light the darkness. Nothing comes easy since the Garden of Eden. These flowers express the intelligence of existence. So many shapes, colors, perfumes seducing us. The earth offers up its gifts, a bite of forbidden fruit, and we know the world is for us and also against us. Everything in nature dies. It is inevitable that one day we will close our eyes for the last time, and all our problems will disappear. It fills us with awe. It fills us with fear. Where do we go when we are no longer here? Sometimes we are relieved. After a lifetime of toil, we are released. And thank you. And this last one is called Beauty. I've seen so much beauty, I feel like I've really lived. I've received so much, and I have so much to give. So many perfect days to ease the strain of living and the burden of suffering. Whenever I grieve or fear, my memories take me there. Insecure over what the future might hold, these memories help to make me bold. I survived what I never thought I could, and I managed to hold on to what was good. Life can be torture, and the bad times still haunt me like a fugue. Physical and mental pain I have known, they still cast a shadow. But I keep looking at that perfect beauty, and I can't regret my existence. Still looking for that state of mind that I could call home. An autumn day with someone I love, swan swimming, architectural marvels, museums full of exquisite art. The creativity I found within myself, books I read so passionately. When I'm depressed and afraid, all these things come back to me, and they set me free. Now I can embrace the journey. I have a focal point to pay attention to, one that will help me move forward instead of drowning in my sorrows. I can imagine so many lovely tomorrows. Thank you.
cool. I have 2 poems to share. This was called Living Is Not Free. So here we go. This is called Living Is Not Free. It goes, we live our lives believing that everything should be easy, but life isn't free. We all have our pound of flesh to pay. All of us will experience something tragic. Life is a ride, and it's not a free ride. After we pay the toll, we must decide what to do with the rest of our days. Someday we will have to foot the bill for our existence. God is the tax man waiting for the fee, and we must place our coins into the palm. This is called The Razor's Edge. Dance upon the razor's edge tonight. This is a world of fun and fright. Travel far beyond the ordinary ways. Find your freedom in this grayish haze. Shut out this mortar coil. Do not let this evening spoil. Sing along with the robins and crows. Follow the river to where it goes. Climb up the mountain peak. Don't let foolishness make you weak. Let your experiences fortify your soul. And don't let hatred swallow you whole. Be the master of your life. Be the one that wields the knife.
So I have 2 poems today that I wrote. I'll be reading a few of Brittany's later. This one's called Potential. And all my poems are the glory of God and to go with love. A PhD in a pile of wires. Knitting and sewing the universe together. Backpacks made of civilization. Would do, if you want to be humble. A paradigm shift where everyone is unexpected. Crocheting yourself to be a great mind. Somewhere in the depths of a squatter settlement. Death piling death upon death. Genius and taking on the responsibility to kill. Graffiti sprayed all over because of the pain of lost potential. People think it's cool to be smart in comparison to who you made them think they are. Oh, but a small window into making a Persian rug, into the $1 million paintings, and the brilliance of shaping garbage into thought. The insult of not challenging yourself, of being a panhandler who cons money from people. Riding on an airplane, you get inspiration to see the grass as trees. Riding on the mountains of information to create your art. Actual thought begins where you challenge people to see where it began. Great lists of recipes is genius by volume of good meals. There's no theft in submitting your effort to public opinion. If knowledge is the purpose, and not profanity and vandalism. Police catching vandals to give them a chance. Programs to give children a chance. Taking the world for granted. Brilliant young people granting machine guns their medium. Great tragical death getting absorbed in art. Killing people who make you think. And all I wanted to do was point at a pile of wire. This one's called Honesty's Offering. All honesty has to offer is that the importance of everyone outweighs their mistakes and shortcomings. Honesty isn't always practical, but that doesn't mean the exaltation of deception. Asking for help takes strength because the world is big and out of control. It's a strength because admission of our vulnerability means knowing we can do it on our own. Being in touch with yourself means giving yourself time to smell the roses. It means having money is a privilege and that we are responsible to the poor. How was the world on a turtle's back? How was ancient Greece placing everything on the back of Atlas? How is love in our hearts? We must see when our reach exceeds our grasp. Being stupid might be a concept that would die once you talked about it. Well, who do we trust? The whole world could be a construct. Maybe my mind is all there is. Maybe that's just a lesson that leads to wisdom. Then all that matters is a purpose, usually beyond our means. If it includes anyone, everyone deserves the same. The earth shook with the sound of birds. Hooves trampled the ground like living oceans. Mankind calls it humility to take on genocide. Then there's no use in talking about contrition. Lies become plain, hatred is just a selling tactic for human gain of power. Columbus didn't discover the world was round. History is deep in that lesson. So maybe being a true student was something I only achieved later in life. But human value is absolute. Relationships have conditions, but love doesn't. Clarity sings like the music of the spheres. Judgment is the veil that separates us from love and forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't idealism, it's our only defense against evil, no matter how alone we are with it. It lightens a load and eases the burden. Salvation is all that matters, so how small the chance is doesn't matter. Salvation goes along with a higher purpose, and there must be a difference between our knowledge of it and whether our true selves learn. Otherwise, what is the pain and suffering that life includes about? How big or small are we when there's no limit in either direction? Yet to find comfort in a place is an assertion that puts aside comparison. The man smelling the rose doesn't even notice anything else. Just laugh. Time passed so fast. Your cut scene was called by your cast. Now that you've shared your last laugh, they've called you back. There is no more sand left in your hourglass. You've reached the end of your path. Everything you were remains in your past. All you'll leave behind is ash. At last your soul was slept into oblivion. Rest in peace now, you hard-bitten civilian. Finally, you've been freed of your sins. The process of your decay is soon to begin. You've been a soldier on this tough terrain. It's an honor to release you from your pent-up worries and pain. For the last time you face the sun and kiss the rain. Your absence is sure to leave your loved ones not feeling the same. You are no longer to be living in the same frame. Go ahead, hand me your reins. Your soul will soon be without the confining restraints. It doesn't matter if you're a sinner or a saint. Once I led you towards heaven or hell's gates. You can retire from carrying your own weight. That's the first one. There's one called Roulette here. As if God planted me in your universe for me to be your marionette and to have my purity burned out like one of your cigarettes. It's like I'm a pet trained to fret my own silhouette. I'm forced to borrow my beatitude if it's a threat. Yet I keep reinventing myself through the tears, blood, and sweat. I'm here to build up my threshold, I guess, no matter how rigorous the current gets. I'm dead set on winning this game of Russian roulette. It seems like the devil has savagely pecked at my intellect and sucked me dry of my innocence like an insect. Now I'm in need to defect and protect my own dignity to once again perfect my alignment and alacrity.
Thank you all for sharing your art with us, your lovely ways that your brains can transform so much stuff and experiences into poetry is beautiful, and I'm always touched hearing all your words. Thank you for reading your own work and for reading Brittany's work. Thank you for sharing your work, Brittany, as well as Robert and Sandra. Give them all a round of applause! Same time, same bad channel, next week. Ha.